prison fucked me up mentally. So,
yeah, no shit. Yo, what's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Prison Break Raw. I'm your host, the one and only Big JD. Go ahead, give this channel, subscribe, share, leave some messages or comments, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. You know what to do. So we're going to talk about a couple of issues that have been taking place over the last few days, and we're also going to do some roasting. Yeah, I mean, it was inevitable, right? It was only a question of when and who. But we are doing a blast from the past, something that happened a month ago. I mean, I had done forgotten about this cat. I mean, that's how irrelevant he is, right? So we're going to get into that. But first, let me get back up on the soapbox and beat up a dead horse and explain to you once again the goal of Prison Break Raw, what it's all about. What's the purpose of it? I mean, I think some people are confused, or maybe it's just a little bit of ADD kicking in. You might need to take your medication, or, you know, with all this legalization of marijuana, people are too blunted out to pay attention to anything above 20% of the content that's in these videos. So I would strongly encourage you to drop the blunt, sober up for about 2 hours, and pay attention. I'll also talk a little bit slower so that it'll register a little easier. So here's Prison Break Raw in a nutshell. I am a critic. I'm an opinionated columnist. I'm an amateur journalist, and I'm a vlogger. All that together, mixed with my sarcasm and my arrogance, creates Prison Break Raw. I deal with a lot of controversial shit that everybody else wouldn't even touch with a 10-foot pole. Why? Because that's just the kind of person I am. I'm just like that, man. It's like I don't feel the need to be the same as every other prison labeled channel. I don't even like to be labeled a prison channel, right? I mean, yeah, I've done my time. Yeah, I give you some stories because I know some people want to hear it. But I mean, doesn't it just sound all the same and get boring? Wouldn't you like to hear something original? So here's the deal with me and what I do and why I do it. Hopefully this makes a little bit better sense to you now that we've come this far, and I've drawn out a lot of serious emotions and a lot of people to the point where people are making bogus profiles on IG about me. People are trying to like get up on my IP address, find out where I'm at, all kinds of little weird ass stalker type shit because you don't like what I have to say because it stirs up emotions inside of you that you just want to leave repressed. And the goal is, and it has always been, like I said from the beginning, I basically made the trolls an interactive part of this show. A lot of people say, why do you pay attention to the trolls? Why do you let them get under your skin? They don't get under my skin. They're not even the dirt under my fingernails. They're a part of this show because it's like, I believe in an interactive audience, right? So it's the information that you give me and the topic and things that you throw my way, I turn that into material. Because if you look at a lot of the prison channels that are out there, a lot of it is starting to become like repeat material because you're running out of things to talk about. So here it is. Like I originally started this channel on a positive note. I was dealing with aspects of my book, An Imprisoned Mind, A Guide to Escaping Our Self-Made Prison. I was breaking the book down chapter by chapter, telling you how to use positive exit strategies, how to cope with negative situations and negative feelings, how to set goals, how to challenge your irrational thinking, how to set up a safety net, all these different things that I've learned. But it was like 1 in a million different people doing the same exact thing. I tried to search my own videos. I couldn't find them anywhere. I would have to literally type it word for word in there for it to show up on any results. So I had to ask myself, right? Why am I doing this? I'm not really doing it for fame. And a lot of you people can think whatever you want. I don't care, man, what you really think. To be perfectly honest with you, I really don't. I actually started on Facebook, right? I got a pretty large following on Facebook. I got group pages on there. I've sold most of my books on there. I've dealt with literally thousands of mothers and fathers of incarcerated sons and daughters all across the world. A world. I'm not talking just the United States. I'm talking some of them are in Australia, Europe, Africa, Canada. Even somebody in the Philippines reached out to me whose kid was in prison there who's looking at death because they were in possession of narcotics. All over the world, man, I have talked to people, mothers and fathers specifically, that want their children to get out of that stupid ass, destructive, incarcerated state of mind and get out. I had my little taste of fame on a small level, just a couple of grains of salt. And I got to tell you, it was overwhelming. You basically lose your individuality. You have no life anymore. Your whole life is entertaining other people. So I kind of like got a little frustrated with it. I set up a nonprofit organization and I couldn't get the help that I needed to take on the agenda and the message and the goal, the mission statement that I had created for it. So I had to dissolve the nonprofit. I moved a lot away from Facebook because I felt like it was just going nowhere. It was like I was constantly having to counsel so many different people, and there was a lot of people I couldn't get to on time, and they thought I was like ignoring them. It was becoming overwhelming. I had no one to help me. That's what fame gets you. You have no life anymore. I had no life. I had to give up relationships. I had to give up fun time with family and friends. My boy Wancho that just recently died that I talked about. I mean, I couldn't hang out with him over the last few weeks that he was sick because I was all caught up in that work. And I had to let it go. So the one thing that I was looking to do was to retool this channel, to become more like myself, to allow my arrogance and my sarcasm to shine through in a way that seems negative to you if you don't understand the message. But if you understand the yin and the yang of everything in life, there's a positive and a negative and a negative and a positive, you'll understand that I could be that positive self-talk person like, oh, I'm sitting in a park this morning watching the sunrise over the trees and it just helps me to appreciate life and basically stay out of prison. I could be like the 10 million other people that are doing that. Or I could give it to you raw, uncut, uncensored, no holds barred, non-sugarcoat, non-politically correct, slapping you with a dick of reality and basically stir up all those emotions and feelings and bring them out to the surface, fighting fire with fire. I could do that. And I do that. I've proven my point to the method, to what I said in the beginning, like this. That's what I said. And it's proven to be true. Because I said in the beginning, putting skinny pants gangsters on notice. I'm going to be challenging your ultra emotional, super sensitive, soft, fragile, snowflake mentalities. I'm going to make you mad. I'm going to make you frustrated and pissed off. All these feelings are going to come up. And you're going to be like, this motherfucker pisses me off. But it's not me that's pissing you off. It's you are allowing me to get in your head. And that is the goal, to basically help you realize that if you allow somebody to get in your head so much like that, you got to leave me 20,000 comments on a video because it's controversial, because it's attacking your God, your Lancelot, your Jesus, then you got some problems. I don't have the problems, right? I'm basically pointing them out to you on a dark level. Basically, I'm allowing you to see the light in the darkness. There's something in cognitive behavioral therapy called the four-way window pane, right? You got your blind pain, your potential pain, your open pain, and your secret pain. Those pains represent everything that's inside of you. In your blind pain, you have a lot of these hidden, deep emotions and feelings about things, and people trigger them. And you don't know why they're getting triggered. You just know that you're feeling some kind of way. You're getting offended. You're getting frustrated. You're getting upset. And that is the goal, to basically help you see that. So if I put out a controversial video and I'm smashing somebody and you start getting on here, oh, clout chaser, he's jealous. You're expressing a whole lot of emotions within yourself that you need to address. Anything that I tell you, the Antifa video, the same thing, bringing out some emotions in people. The 13th Amendment that I talked about, clowning ASAP Rocky, who a lot of people look up to and idolize. A lot of people idolize Tekashi 6ix9ine. I talked about him way before any of these other cats are talking about him. Cardi B, the same thing. A lot of yous idolize these people. And when I punch at them, I'm drawing up feelings inside of you that you need to address, because those things are going to get you caught up in some kind of a battle in the future. So I'm basically like the devil doing the devil's work. But if you look in Jewish mysticism, the devil is not really a bad guy. There's a way to use evil for good and good for evil in everything in life. Prison Break Raw is all about bringing all those emotions out of you into the surface so that you could see them for yourself. I've proven that the theory, that the method works. All I have to do is say Wes Watson, and you people get whoa, whoa, whoa. You people just get all charged up. Next time I say it, I should just do a video to where all I say is Wes Watson, Wes Watson, Wes Watson, Wes Watson. And check out your feelings and ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Because if it's really that you think I'm whack and you don't like my show, then don't watch it. Because I'm not going to watch the Kardashians. I can't stand those grimy ass people. I would never turn on their shit or follow them on any social media. Fuck them. I don't like them. So I'm not going to follow them. Simple as that. Another one is just basically understand that what I am doing is constructive criticism that will help you grow. Because if I bring out feelings and emotions in you, it's simple martial arts. It's a mystical philosophy to basically put you in all kinds of uncomfortable situations and make you feel and get emotional in certain ways so that you can learn how to deal with them more rationally. It's brilliant if you think about it, and I've proven it to work. Just go look at the Wes Watson video I did and look at all the comments in there. Look at how many emotional, soft, sensitive people are in those comments. And that should tell you right there exactly what we are dealing with in this life, where people are so caught up in what somebody else says that it really grinds their gears to the very core of their being. Which brings us to the topic of this whole thing right here. The troll that started it all and kicked off this whole fight with me. I didn't even bring it to him. He brought it to me. Those messages right there. That's what started the whole thing. Remember what I said. Trolls be forewarned. Trolls be forewarned. I will make an example out of your ass. It just so happens that he was the first one to be made an example out of. And now I'm making an example out of him again because he is a glutton for punishment without the gimp suit, right? He's like that little piece of poop that's stuck to the toilet after you take a messy one and you just can't flush it no matter how many times you flush. You gotta break out the brawny brush. He's like a case of the herpes. You're stuck with him and he rears his ugly face around the corner when you don't want him to, and he did it during the time that I was mourning over the loss of my dead homie Wancho. Shame on you. Now you're gonna get beat down. So this cat, William Ainsworth, who's like, basically he's leaking blinker fluid all over the highway. He's a wingnut. Basically his dipstick ain't touching oil anymore. I mean, I can't believe how small-minded this buffoon is to get so emotional and upset to where he wants to make a video about me and start challenging me to a fight like, I'm challenging JD to a fight, we'll donate the money to charity, I'll fly him out here. Nobody wants to fucking donate money to your meth habit. I mean, shit, look at his tooth, man, his missing tooth. Well, I got my tooth knocked out, I'm doing electrical work. What did you do, electrocute your tooth right out of its fucking gum line? I mean, come on, man. Talking about, I'm gonna rappel down 10 trees to be at his level. I mean, I'm not a tree climbing enthusiast or a tree climbing professional, but I would have to think that you can't climb down 10 trees at once, smart guy. You would have to literally climb down one tree at a time. But anyways, on to the other thing. It's just like, why would you get on social media and challenge me to a fight? in front of all these people, law enforcement and the likes that watch these channels. I mean, seriously, challenging me to a crime fight, because you're not going to get Don King to promote it. You're not going to get it done through the UFC. You're not going to get Bob Arum or anybody else. We're not going to hold it at the Trump Plaza. So you're basically saying to come down there and fight you illegally in the streets. And you trying to talk about you a positive dude. That's how crazy and dumb you are. I mean, and just looking at your ass, man, you're like looking all over the place like, oh, does anybody else see these bats flying around?
Around us, and the sky was full of what looked like huge bats, all swooping and screeching and diving around the car. And a voiceless screaming.
That was boo-boo, man. You're weird, dude. I mean, you're fucking weird, man. You're just like your jalapeno on a stick mustache, just flapping away. I mean, you talking about, oh, you're like 80 years old, and then the next minute I was 90 years old. So I from one minute to the next in your video, I went from 80 to 90 years old. Well, you know what? If I'm 80 years old, then that makes you an elderly abuser, because you're trying to beat up an 80-year-old man. I mean, seriously, think about what you say before you say it, man. Because you're trying to sound like clever and crafty, but you just like, you sound like a straight moron. You're like that guy that was in the cell that has his t-shirt wrapped around his head and he's flinging poop all over the walls and talking to the corner of his cell. That's what you remind me of. And furthermore, what really makes matters worse for you is you don't have a leg to stand on any longer, because you tried to do your channel under false pretense and make everybody believe that you was this active homie and that you were a real one and that you were with the business and still and all that. And the ranting dropout pulled your covers and revealed to the whole world what you really are. You're an SNY. You're a Northern Rider. And then you get on, oh, I'm not a Northern Rider, but I didn't want to stab nobody because my bunghole is all wallered out from all the stuff I've been hooping over the years. I mean, dude, like, you are like one of the silliest people I've ever seen. I like you, though, man. I really do like William Ainsworth, man. He's you know, he's like that dumb little brother that you have that thinks he's badder than you, that talks about he's done more than you. I mean, this guy like gets on there with this big old fucking garden hat talking about, I make the best tamales. All these other channels are a bunch of bitches and they can't make tamales. He even talks shit about Wes Watson. Check it out.
So when you got people like Wes going on there acting like the whites are all hard and shit, it's not true, guys. Everybody's the same. Everybody's equal. Dudes like Wes, all buff and shit, all day long, get stabbed up, lock it up over dope.
Stupid, I'm special, and I like pizza. I mean, literally, that's, come on, man. You got like one brain cell. I guess like that brain cell was working overtime. And you trying to say that I look old? You about 10 years younger than me, and you look about my age, right? Imagine how you're going to look when you my age. Imagine how I'm going to look when I'm 10 years older than when you're at my age now. I'm holding my age pretty good. I mean, I get compliments all the time, man. I have like all the self-esteem and confidence in the world, because that kind of shit don't get to me, because I already know that I'm looking good and fit for my age. I exercise, I do all that. You want to talk about doing time and all that shit like that? I've been all up in the system long before you was. I've done time on the 180 yards. I've been up and down that state, homie. I've been all up in the feds, all up in the streets gangbanging. You try to say I'm not a real Sureño? Well, you know what? Yeah, I'm a Sureño, but I don't gangbang anymore because I'm living a better life, a positive life. I never said I was active. I never said anything. All I said is I started GP and I finished GP. And that's as far as about GP as I'm talking about. You got me confused with another channel. I mean, the main thing is that you challenged me to a fight. You could have got at me on the low. You could have got at me on IG and set that up. But it's too late now. You blasted that all over social media. You basically dry snitching is what you're doing. So, hey, law enforcement, I do not have no intentions of going out there to California and fighting this man. I don't know what he's talking about. He needs his medication. I mean, it's crazy how you waited a whole month to do this, right? But you started this beef. You came at and trolled, man. You knew what was coming at you. It says right in the disclaimer in the beginning of the video. And none of you should expect anything less than what he got. He brought it on himself. Simple as that. And he's a dropout on top of all that. I mean, he's in his feed talking about, this is what he says about dropouts.
I seen the biggest dudes on the fucking yards drop out over drugs like nothing, straight lock it up like bitches.
He's calling himself a bitch. He talks about people that talk loud and talk all that. He calls everybody a bitch and a punk and a bitch and a lame and a punk. Real gangsters don't do that. The only time that you're eligible to call somebody a bitch or a punk is when that fool's laying in a pool of blood at your feet. Until then, you can't even speak on a man like that. I don't know where you got your schooling. You that new generation fucking generation millennial bullshit, man. You guys got things all fucking twisted. Coming and challenging me to a fight. I'm not entertaining any of that bullshit because ain't none of you telling fucking Wes Watson to go fight Joey, so you don't have a right to tell me to go fight anybody else. Especially not this weirdo. You fucked up in the head. You fucked up by coming on here. I mean, I could roast you for the next 12 hours, 13 hours. I could stay roasting you. But I'm going to ease up on you because you ain't even worth my time. You are nowhere at my level, man. Do yourself a favor for your peace of mind and sanity and well-being. And don't come at me again. Because the next time I roast you, it'll be so legendary that they will be singing songs about it in the hills. That's how bad it'll be for you. Went easy on you again. Twice now I've gone easy on you. Don't make me go hard in the paint on your ass in the third one. Because I will. I don't want to have to do that. And as a matter of fact, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I ain't going to entertain that no more. It's just like, I'm done with you. You should have got at me on the low. If you talking about some real G shit, you should have got at me on IG and challenged me to all that. It's simple as that. But this cat, you want to call somebody a clout chaser? There you go. Jealous and a clout chaser, man. I had like 2,000 subs when he had like 4,000. I blew right past him with 10,000. He's still stuck at 4,000. So there it is in a nutshell. Don't mess with the master. Like I said, I'm a cerebral assassin. You can't get into my head. You can't, none of your shit's boo-boo, man. It's weak, it's garbage. To try to put me down in any way, shape, or form. Prison Break Raw is going to stay the way it is. I'm going to continue to do critical humor, controversial satire. I'm going to talk shit. I'm going to clown. I'm going to do all that. Because I'm not trying to make this about, oh, this is serious business, is prison stuff. Because I'm trying to teach you how to break free from your imprisoned mind, man. Your low self-esteem, your ultra emotional, sensitive nature that a lot of you are wrapped around. If I challenge you and make you feel uncomfortable, you have to ask yourself why you feeling that way. Look at William Ainsworth. He's been stewing on this shit for a whole month. So here's a picture of William Ainsworth, the guy, you know, who called me 80 years old, but he actually looks the same age as me. Here's a picture of him before the reaction to his video that I put out. Now here's a picture of him after the reaction. All bad, bro. Stressed all out. Don't mess with the big dog, homie. Because you already know what it is, right? Prison Break Raw, uncut, uncensored, no holds barred, non-sugarcoated, non-politically correct, slapping you with a dick of reality. And you just got slapped. Abracadabra, poof, be gone, troll. And I'm out.